We're gonna make a very special cake. We're gonna make a lemon-filled cake, and I'm doing this because tomorrow's my father's birthday, and this is his favorite cake. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a sponge cake. We're gonna make a nice lemon filling, and we're gonna mix that lemon filling with some whipping cream. For the flour, you can use regular all-purpose flour. However, today we are making it gluten-free, and today I'm using a Kinnikinnick all-purpose flour, which is my go-to flour. I love it because the results are always incredible. And for the filling, we're gonna use this Shirriff over here. It's called lemon pie filling and dessert mix. This is fantastic. So we're gonna make the filling on the stove, let it cool down, and then I'll show you how we put all this together. So I'm gonna show you the ingredients of the sponge cake, and we're gonna use some baking powder, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, regular vegetable oil. So we're gonna use only half a cup, which is really good because we're making a nice big 10-inch cake, which is pretty good. 3/4 cup of sugar, regular sugar, and 1 cup of all-purpose flour. So if you don't have any allergies, regular all-purpose flour. If you do, then we're gonna use Kinnikinnick. And we're gonna use a little bit of vanilla, a little vanilla pouch, or you can use vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon. So this is called the 6-egg sponge cake, and this sponge cake always works out perfect. You can make it for a strawberry shortcake as well, or any other type of cake where you're looking for a sponge cake recipe. So it's 6 extra large eggs. Now, if you don't have extra large eggs, then you use 8 eggs instead of 6. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by making the lemon filling because we're gonna cook it and we're gonna let it cool down in the fridge. And while it's cooling down, we're gonna start the cake. So let me show you how we make this. Very, very simple. And then we'll move on to the sponge cake. What we start with is we put in 2 egg yolks in here. What I do is I keep my 2 egg whites because this way maybe you can make meringues with it, or you can use it for an omelet maybe the next day. So here we go. What we do here is we put the 2 egg yolks with a whisk. So we just whisk our egg yolks. And then all you do is add 1/3 cup cold water. Mix that up. And we add our little lemon filling. So lemon powder. And we just mix that up really well. So now we can turn on the heat on medium, towards medium high, but I like to keep it on medium because we don't want this custard to burn. And then all we do is we boiled our water, so we need 2 cups of boiled water. And we just incorporate that as well inside. And so now all you have to do is stir it. So basically you're just gonna follow the instructions on the box, and it's very, very simple. So this is a great cake to make if you have, your kids' birthdays, your mom, your dad, your friend. Whenever you have to make a cake, this is my go-to cake because it is very, very easy, very simple, takes hardly any ingredients, and takes hardly any time to make, and it turns out wonderful. It's refreshing, it's nice, it's lemony. And trust me, you will love it. So if you're looking for a very simple homemade cake for any occasion, this is a cake to make. So what we're gonna do, what's really important is just to keep on whisking because we don't want any, pieces, or we don't want it to stick at the bottom. So what's really important is just keep on stirring until it comes to a boil. So here we go. Now at this point you can close it because 30 seconds, the heat will still remain on the stove. See, it's coming to a boil. See how beautiful? All right, so now we're gonna take it off the stove. We're gonna let it cool down just a little bit. And then we're gonna put it in the fridge so it gets nice and cold. And in the meantime, we're gonna start our sponge cake. Here we go. So I'm gonna show you how easy breezy this cake is. It is so fast, so easy. It'll become your staple. It'll become your go-to sponge cake because I'm telling you, it is delicious and very easy to make. So what we start with is, like I mentioned before, our 6 extra large eggs. So what we do is we're gonna separate them. So we're gonna put the egg whites and the egg yolks. We just separated our eggs. So we have our egg whites in here. We're gonna start with our egg yolks. So here we go, we're gonna start now. We're gonna beat our egg yolks and we're gonna beat them very well. We're gonna beat them until they get light and pale yellow in color. And then we're slowly gonna incorporate our sugar and our vanilla. So on medium heat. And we're gonna do this on medium speed. So I just wanna show you exactly how it's getting thicker. You see how it's getting a little pale in color? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna slowly add our sugar. You see how it's getting pale in color and thicker? So you slowly keep on adding your sugar. Add our vanilla sugar. 6. So at this point, we add our oil very slowly. And there we go. Now this is what they mean by ribbon, you see? See how it's nice and ribbon-like? This is the consistency that you're looking for. There you go. So now what you do is we'll put this on the side. We'll just leave this on the side and we're gonna beat our egg whites now. So here we go. We're gonna beat our egg whites, and what I like to do is just put a little pinch, tiny little pinch like this, cream of tartar, and I find it just keeps the egg whites from falling. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna start off on medium and bring it to high until we get stiff peaks. So here we go. We beat our egg whites and they're nice and firm. So I would say a good 5 minutes at least. We just finished beating in the oil. And now what we're gonna do, so we're gonna add our flour and we're gonna add our baking powder. Now what's important is that you have to sift your flour. So it's already been sifted. I've sifted it and I already put it in my cup. So now we're just gonna fold it in. So folding it means just gently incorporating it like this. So we're gonna do this nice and slowly. A little bit at a time. Take your time. Now this is a base to almost any cake you can make. I make strawberry shortcake with this. I make Boston cream pie. I make the Italian cake, the one with the 3 colors. And we're making today the lemon cake. So this is really your go-to base sponge cake, 6-egg sponge cake, and you can use it for anything. You can use it even to make a mocha cake. And we're gonna add 3 teaspoons, so 3 leveled teaspoons of baking powder. There we go. And we're just gonna finish folding that in. And now what we're gonna do, so in the meantime, I was beating my egg whites. So here we go. We have our egg whites, and now we're just gonna fold them into our egg yolk mixture. And again, always folding, and you're gonna see you're gonna have a beautiful texture, and it's gonna make a wonderful sponge cake. There, you just want to make sure that all those little egg white little pieces are folded in. And there you have it. Do you see how beautiful this is? So this is ready. Now I just want to show you what we're going to do is we're going to put it into a spring form pan. And I just want to show you exactly what we do. So what I like to do is I like to put a piece of parchment paper at the bottom. So what you do is you take a nice piece of parchment paper. You take out this piece inside out of your springform pan. So I'll just show you how. You put it on your big piece of parchment paper, and all you do is draw a little circle with a pencil and cut it out. So this way, when you're ready to unmold the cake, and you flip it over, I'll show you at the end how it comes off so easily. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray our pan. So we're gonna spray the pan here, the sides, and we're gonna put in our parchment paper on top so that it'll stick. There you go. And I like to spray the parchment paper as well. Just makes it easy to remove the cake. It makes it easy when you have to unmold the cake. So here we go. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pour our batter into our springform pan. Do you see how beautiful this is? And there you have it, beautiful cake ready to go in the oven. So let's put it in the oven at 350, 30 to 35 go. Cake is just beautiful, it's perfect. So here we go. If you want to know if a cake is done, just put a toothpick inside, and if it comes out clean, your cake is done. So I actually ended up leaving it 35 minutes, and it's starting to detach from the corners, which is exactly what you want. So we're just gonna let it cool off for a little while. We're gonna be making the whipping cream, and what we used is Dream Whip. I was hoping it would be dairy-free, but actually it says contains milk, so be careful with that if you're lactose intolerant. So I put the 2 pouches in here, and we're gonna add a little bit of vanilla. I put 1 cup of lactose-free milk, and we're just gonna beat that. So we're just gonna beat that for 2 minutes. We're gonna start out very slowly. So we're gonna beat this on low to start. So here we go. The whipping cream is whipped. We have a nice big bowl of whipping cream. So what I like to do is I like to add just maybe like a couple of tablespoons to our lemon that has been cooling off in the fridge. And by doing that, it just comes nice and creamy. I'm going to show you. You see, this is the lemon that we did a little earlier, that we cooked. And now I'm just going to mix it gently on number 1. So here we go. Do you see how beautiful? Now it got more like a banana yellow color. So it's a bit lighter, and it's a little bit, lighter and thinner. We'll be able to spread it really well. So there we go. Our nice little lemon filling is ready. Just gonna put it here on the side. Our cake is right here and beautiful. So what I did is I just cut it all around. And what you do is you just remove the first layer, And we'll cut through the second layer. So try and make it so that it's pretty much even all around. This way your layers will be really pretty when you cut them, and the icing will be nice and even. So let's just keep this here. And now we're just gonna remove our second layer. There you go. Here we go. So how we're gonna do this, this is our last layer. And there you go. You see, the reason why I put the paper here is that it's very, very easy. Just flip it over, remove the paper, and there you have it. So you put your first layer on here, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove half. Let's remove half of the custard, and we're just gonna spread it out like this. I can smell the lemon. It absolutely smells amazing. And don't go too far to the edges, because when you put that slice of cake on top, you just want to make sure that it doesn't leak out through the sides, right? So there we go. This is beautiful. I can put actually a little bit more. So we'll have a nice layer of lemon custard. And there we have it. And then we just put another layer on top. Just try and make sure that it's pretty much even all around, which it is. And now we're just gonna put the remaining lemon custard. And now just spread that out as well. This is gonna be delicious. It's gonna be light and it's gonna be tasty, and everyone will love it. Looking good. And now we're gonna put the last layer on top. And there we go. Just flatten it out here and there, just because you wanna make sure that you have a nice even layer all around. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So now you have a choice. You could either put it with one of these nice knives like this and just spread it out evenly, or you can use a piping bag and you can make some pretty designs on top. You can even it out with a spreader like this. And then we could just spread the sides as well. At least to make one layer, as you can see. A trick is to put some boiling water in a cup and just dip it inside, wipe it, dip it in the hot water, leave it for a couple of, maybe like 10 seconds or so, and it'll come out and make your icing nice and smooth. So here we go. Now, if you want to use a piping bag, if you want to make a little decoration, you could just and here we go. This is as easy as it gets. Now you can make it all white, or if you want to color your icing, your whipping cream, you could just color your whipping cream by putting a little bit of food coloring. But I just wanted to make it all white for today. So this is it. We're just gonna continue our piping. And you see, this is the new look. The new look is that you put the layer of whipping cream, but you still see through, you can still see the cake here and there. So this is the new look, and this is what people wanna see. And we're just gonna finish our piping like this all around the cake. And just makes it really pretty. And there we have it. Here we go. So now you could just zest some lemon, nice coarse pieces, and just sprinkle.